10 rounds of boxing in the welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black with white and weighing in at 148 pounds. His professional record, an outstanding one. 47 victories, 28 by knockout. Only 2 losses in his career with 1 draw, and he's currently ranked number 7 in the world by the WBC. He comes to us from the Motor City, Detroit, Michigan. Here is one of the top welterweights in the world, Oba Motor City Carr. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white, trimmed with teal and weighing in at 146 pounds. Also an outstanding professional record, 55 victories, 42 by knockout, 5 losses with 1 draw, and he is ranked number 10 in the world by the WBC. He comes to us from Morristown, Tennessee. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the former super lightweight world champion, Frankie the Surgeon Randall.
All right, Frankie. All right, gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. I expect a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all time. Protect yourself at all time. Touch him up. Good luck.
Despite all of his big fights, Oba Carr said until recently he was broke as a joke. This is a fight to fix his bank account and his ledger, because the stakes are a fight against Oscar De La Hoya. It's a parlay. He has to win, and so does Oscar.
Randall's 2 memorable fights with Julio Cesar Chavez, the second of them a loss on a technical decision after Chavez refused to continue after being cut by a headbutt. Both of those fights took place at 140 pounds, where Frankie spent the glory years of his career. He's fought at the last 2 fights at 147, so this is his 3rd appearance in this weight level at age 37. Logic tells you, George, that the younger man, Oba Carr, must pressure Frankie Randall and make him work and try not to allow him to get into a relaxed groove.
Well, the thing about Frankie Randall is that he was very successful in the first Chavez fight because Chavez brought the fight to him. He was able to just box him, do whatever he wanted to do because the fight came to him. Now, he's in with this guy, Oba Carr, right? Oba Carr? Okay, now, his job is don't take it to him, make that man come to you so that you can do all the things that to him that he did to Chavez.
All right, so I'm wrong. So Carr's better off waiting and letting Randall make the fight and picking off Randall as he comes forward.
Yeah, because it's like falling off a building. That when a guy brings it to you, constantly falling.
Yeah, against Chavez, Randall was able to jab, follow up with a body punch, take a walk, and be out of Chavez's punching range.
Oba Carr should just do his combinations, get out of the way. Make this guy extend himself, missing with jabs, missing with hooks, reaching out.
When we asked Frankie Randall yesterday, what must you do to beat Oba Carr, he said simply, be first. And Carr wants to remember to keep moving to his right, as he's doing here, moving to his right and away from Frankie Randall's right hand.
That's right. You do your combinations, get out of the way, make him come to you. Just step back, make him come.
Pretty good, strong first round so far for Oba Carr, who has landed several blows to the body and the head.
So far in this round, Randall is second.
And second, as he said, won't get it.
Oba Carr is doing good. He's making Randall reach out. Make him reach out, catch him when he comes in.
That's a good point. Oba Carr is being first and then being gone.
That's right.
Whoa, a good right hand. Yep. Randall landing his heaviest blow of the round in the last 5 seconds. And a little grin on the face of Frankie Randall as he strolls to see his relatively new trainer, Cornelius Boza Edwards.
All right, patient, patient, you nail him. Just like you did there. All right? Blow, blow. Okay.
I got him.
I know. Shoot that right hand, it was right under the target.
Right there.
That's a shot. Give me a towel. Give me a towel.
When you get around him that way, and he do this here, he won't hit him to his body or to his head with that right hand, okay? Breathe up real good. Stay relaxed, okay? Just stay relaxed. Breathe. Breathe. You're all right. You're all right. Breathe. Okay?
Carr's trainer is his dad, Eddie Carr. You may recognize the chief second in that corner, the dramatic-looking Phil Borgia, martial arts training expert in New York, who is also the trainer of the outstanding former world featherweight champion, Kevin Kelly.
Randall was very smart the last round. He got in a good right hand to send the young man back to his corner thinking, this guy can hit. That'll make him cautious to start the round. That's what you want to do with the younger fighters. Keep them kind of cautious and just a little afraid of you.
Yeah, if you're only going to land one really damaging blow in a round, try to do it in the first 10 seconds or the last 10 seconds.
That's right.
Hard right hand over the top by Carr, partially blocked by Randall. Carr so far executing brilliantly a well-conceived fight plan. Now Randall cuts off the ring and forces Carr back into the corner.
Well, he caught Oba Carr standing still. That's what he wanted. Oba Carr got to realize if you're not doing anything, at least be moving.
Yeah, this plan for Carr will require stamina.
That's right, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's why you have to skip rope, the road work, move.
This is a 10-round fight. The winner in line to fight Oscar De La Hoya if De La Hoya later this evening is able to get past Ike Quartet. No easy feat.
Come on, let's go, come on. Bring out, bring out, bring out. Bring out.
Oba Carr has Randall reaching with his left jab, missing down low. That's what you want. And every now and then, get some kind of punch on top of that left jab of his. Doesn't have to be hard, just put it there.
Momentarily there you saw Oba moving backward into his left, but for the most part he's been going to his right throughout the fight.
The easiest thing in the world is to just throw a right hand on top of a left jab, of your opponent's left jab. You don't have to throw it hard, just drop it. 90% of the time it'll land.
Oba Carr quick with a left hook inside. Frankie Randall trying to step up the pressure himself and shorten the distance between himself and Carr.
I'll be wrestling inside.
There's no doubt when the fight gets close and the opponents are flat-footed, Randall's going to get the best of it.
You think he's that much better of a puncher, George? You think he's that much better of a puncher?
Oh, yep. Well, he knows exactly what he's doing. He understands if I get him with a left hook, the left hook is going to do this. If I get him with a right hand, it's going to do that.
This is the last of the preliminary bouts. Next up will be the main event between Oscar De La Hoya and Ike Quartet, both of them breaking a sweat now and readying for the biggest event of their careers. Two of the superstars atop the welterweight division. They're not alone. Larry, let's take your look at the top welterweights in the game today.
Well, the others, Pernell Whitaker and Felix Trinidad, who everyone knows they're fighting next week. The newcomer is James Page, who made a big impression beating Jose Luis Lopez a while back. He could be a factor as this scenario, as this series hopefully plays itself out.
And Lopez is the fighter whose identity figures hugely in Quartet's reputation, for reasons we'll discuss later on. Quartet's last fight 16 months ago scored a draw with Jose Luis Lopez. Referee Joe Cortez allows round number 3 to begin between Oba Carr and Frankie Randall, scheduled for 10.
You see, Oba Carr throws a left hook every now and then, but he has no reason or rhyme for it. He just, Floyd Patterson would go to the body with the right, to the body with the right, and then dive in with a left hook. He had a reason.
It's the most devastating punch in the sport if you set it up.
You got to set it up, and you don't just waste them. Now, Randall is very conservative with his shot. Throws a hook, he lands. Throws the right hand, it lands.
Well, at 37 and with more than 60 fights on your dossier, you know how to measure your effort over the course of the 10 rounds.
Now, Randall just threw a good left hook, and you can believe he's got something on his mind with the right hand.
Don't be holding, guys. Don't be holding. Come on. Let's go.
The thing that Randall,
more active. Go ahead, George.
Randall has to be careful because Oba Carr is winning these rounds. He may not be doing a good job, but he's beating him to the punch, landing more punches, and the judges are watching that.
Come on, give him out.
An important punch for Randall. He was able to land a stiff left jab to the belly, right in the middle of the belly of Oba Carr. Did it again.
And the effect of that, George?
He's going to make him drop his hand. Going to make him drop his hand to block it next time, and then that's where he's going to come on top. He's going to try to come on top
with the right hand.
Yeah, that's why Oba Carr has to keep his feet moving. Keep the feet moving.
Oba digging to the body with his left hook. And you see the ring savvy and the movement of Frankie Randall made him such a puzzle for Chavez.
Come on, get him out of there. Come on, guys. Come on, get him out.
Even though Chavez was ahead on the scorecards and therefore got the technical decision in the second Randall fight when it was stopped because of the bleeding that followed the butt, most ringside observers felt that Randall had been controlling Chavez in that fight just as he did in the first of their 2 meetings.
Randall is very crafty. Sets everything up, going to the body and then coming back up to the head.
Oba Carr landing a little right hand underneath. Momentarily stopped Randall.
One of the things you notice here is that neither fighter seems to have the kind of punch that could hold an Oscar De La Hoya off should they meet.
Good right hand
by Frankie Randall right down the pipe.
And remember, he's done good with those body shots to make
time.
Put me down, Tim. Put me down? Here.
Legs. Right hand, left hook. Left hook, right hand.
I'm getting
by the way. All right.
Just opening him up.
Yeah. Okay. That round is good, and he's too nervous. He's scared to get hit.
Yeah.
So we come back and look.
What? Real nice. Huh? What?
Real nice. Breathe up.
I know myself.
Yeah. Real. Don't let him bag you up. You be first so you can get around him. All right. Yeah, so you can box him by just getting around it, but you be first.
All right.
If you let him be first, then he's going to be bagging you up punching. Okay?
Both fighters want to be first. Only one of them can.
The way to be first is just be first.
It's an act of will. Go and throw.
Good right hand by Oba Carr.
Harold Letterman, how'd you score the first 3?
Jim, 29-28. Oba Carr, 2 rounds to 1. Jim, I want to tell you something. I don't like this style at all that Oba Carr's using. He gives him an angle, he gets a shot off, and then he ties him up. And I want to tell you, it makes for a stinking fight. It really does. Watch how many times Oba Carr grabs. There he's grabbing right here, okay? And that's what he does. An angle, a shot, a grab. And I don't know how much Joe Cortez is going to put up with. I mean, it's actually holding.
He's pretty smart. Lands a punch here and there to keep the referee thinking action is going on. Oh, that Oba Carr has a bit of power, Larry, more than you said earlier. He has a left hook and a right hand, but he seems to have to land one first. then the other.
All right, break out, break out.
Carr keeping the activity level high in this round and smothering Randall on those occasions when Randall's able to get close to him.
And if you can get away with that, you got the reach, why not?
Hard body shots by Carr as he backs Randall up against the ropes and fires to the rib cage. Uppercut landed for Carr. Double left hook to the body, and finally Randall comes back. Good flurry against the ropes by Oba Carr. Mixing up his punches.
Break out, Cleve.
And Oba Carr is smart. Randall came off the ropes, walks right into him some more. And that's what you want. When a young fighter lands 5 or 6 punches and then he stops, he gets nervous. He's thinking the crowd is going to say, oh, he's tired, he's scared. And when you're able to step away and make your opponent come to you at a young age, that's good.
Yeah, but George, Oba isn't a young fighter. This is a guy with 50 professional fights. He's the younger fighter.
Oh, that's what I mean, younger.
He's learned a lot in his years in the ring. And as I said, the only 2 losses to Trinidad and Quartet. No shame in that.
And he fought very bravely and well in both of those fights. In fact,
Trinidad down.
Had Trinidad down. Trinidad got to him in the 8th round. Fought bravely against a bigger, stronger guy in Quartet. Never gave an inch.
The thing about Randall, he keeps his composure. His hands are up. This guy, Quartet, drops his...
Oba Carr dropping his hands just slightly, George, as the fight goes on. And Randall stares at Carr as they finish that round. Right now, as we get ready for the main event, let's check in with Rick Lozano on the mood in the 2 fighters' dressing rooms. Rick?
Okay, thank you, Jim. And if the mood in the pre-fight locker room counts for points, well, then I would say that Ike Quartet's locker room has a sizable advantage at this time. It is very festive in here. They are singing Guyanese folk songs. It is very festive in here. In the meantime, in Oscar's locker room, although there is music playing, there is more serious mood. In fact, in looking at his trainer, Roberto Alcazar, I've never seen him as what appears to be stressed out as he is in the pre-fight locker room across the way. Jim, back to you at ringside now.
8-hour time difference between Las Vegas, Nevada and Accra, Ghana. So thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands, maybe millions will be up late tonight in Ghana watching the fight. 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah, George, I got a question. We may be 45 minutes from the start of the big fight.
Okay.
And Ike Quartet looks like he's already hot, sweaty, worked up. Is this a little premature?
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, certain fighters longer, just like training camp, you really want to imitate training camp. You get in, warm up, stay hot, then you step into the fight just like in training camp. I like that. Floyd Patterson would do sometimes 10 rounds shadowboxing before a fight. And when he didn't, he'd get knocked down.
Well, and after all, a training session is, what, an hour and a half or 2 hours?
Well, for some guys, sometimes 2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah.
So if the fight is at the most 48 minutes, why not use an hour to warm up and get yourself ready?
Yeah. And it has to be tradition. That's the way he's been doing it. Keep it up.
In round 3, Frankie Randall began to up his connect percentage against Oba Carr. Randall landing 23 of 52 shots in round 3, and you see them trading here in the middle of the ring, both men landing, and now when they trade shots, Carr has begun to back away.
I think it's very smart for Carr to do as much punishment as he can and get out of the way. Randall is a good puncher, but he wants you coming in, leaning to him. If you don't take it to him, he's out of his element.
Oh, stop it. Come on, guys, come on.
Oba Carr's got a good left jab.
When Oba Carr left his father and the Kronk gym in Detroit, and signed with Don King and manager Rory Holloway, he says it was the right thing for him to do because he had gone stale in the old environment, needed a fresh start, and needed a chance at championship fights. King got him that with the matches against Trinidad and Quartet. Carr wasn't able to take advantage, and he says that in that group, he felt like a fish out of water. So he was happy to come home to be with his dad, and he thinks now he has the right circumstances for success.
Well, I think that was the right thing to say in the room with us.
Well said, George.
Like a guy going to a parole board, you know. Talk to the squares the way the squares want to be talked to. Good body shot, Bob.
Hard right hand, Oba Carr committing to the body shots in this round.
Another body shot. Randall gotta not let this guy hit on him.
Oba Carr has a history of low blows. He has not yet been warned by Joe Cortez tonight. So, at least from the standpoint of scoring and penalties, low blows are not yet a factor in the fight. But has he delivered some? Take a look.
Well, what he's been smart enough to do is to space them out, George, and hit the fighter on one side while the referee is on the other.
I mean, he's made an art of it. Bet you don't see this. Not that.
2 low blows in round 4, but again, no discipline so far from Cortez, who, let's face it, is an activist referee only when he absolutely has to be. Joe Cortez is one of the good referees who likes to let you fight if he can.
Well, Randall hasn't seemed to be affected by any of the blows.
Get back.
I think Randall's determined
harm,
at this stage. Yeah, Randall's determined at this stage of his career not to be affected by much of anything. He's had enough ups and downs that he wants to simply be on the straight and narrow and give himself a chance to succeed over the closing years of his career.
Randall is doing a good job by standing on his toes. He hasn't got flat-footed yet.
Hard left hand to the top of the head by Oba Carr. You can see from the shots that Carr has already landed, he's no one-punch knockout artist. It will take quite an accumulation of blows. That's why so many of his fights have gone the distance.
But the one good thing, he's consistently making Randall follow him around. And that's what you want to do, because Randall is more successful when you're coming to him. And I like that. Though he's landing some telling blows, he keeps this guy coming to him.
But after having told us that he would determinedly move to the right all night to stay away from Randall's right hand, Carr has dispensed with that in the last couple of rounds, George. When he moves to his left or backs away.
Well, evidently he sees some advantages in the movement he's making. All advantages, if you ask me. Sometimes, no matter what you prepare, if you see something else, change both.
You've seen some good infighting. Guys standing in close shoulder to shoulder and finding ways to land clean blows, including the chopping right and left hands that Carr has landed and the body shots. And now Randall with a flurry of body shots of his own.
Watch your heads.
That Oba Carr's a double left hook, right hand, all of the things you don't want to be hit with.
This fight's getting better.
You know, as I said earlier, these are really 2 quintessential professional fighters, and you're seeing some awfully good work here.
Work out here, guys. Come on. Break out.
Randall's been in with some hard punches, so he's not going to be afraid of being hit with hard shots.
3 fights against Juan Koji of Argentina, and now there's a low blow that matters. First warning from Cortez. Randall gets 5 minutes if he needs it.
That could have been the accumulation of the ones earlier, too.
You all right? All right, time in. Let's go. Keep it up, man.
I always think fighters should take more time. Randall decided he didn't want to hang around any longer. He wanted to go back to fighting.
And didn't want to show Carr that he was hurt.
All right, break out. Come on, let him go. Let's go.
Now, for the first time,
Come on,
Oba Carr is spending more time on the rope. And Randall is not taking advantage of it.
Break out.
and firing left-right combinations. Two of the punches getting through the guard and landing cleanly. And there's another one below the belt, and Cortez tells Carr one more time.
Just like I said.
One more time, and you'll get that point deduction.
Fix my dick in there.
What do we say the odds are there'll be a point deduction before this is over?
It's going on purpose, okay, Randall? Let's fight it out. Okay, it's close, Tim.
I know it. Just wait.
I want you to pick it up the pace.
I'm picking it up.
Down, okay?
I'm picking it up.
Yeah, we want this guy out there, Randall.
Our special.
Breathe up real good. Calm yourself down. Now drink a little water. Drink a little water. Drink a little water. Settle down. Feel all right? Okay, you're doing it. Just keep winning the fight, okay? Keep your jab on it. When you being first, that's slowing him down, okay? Your speed is what's slowing him down. But just get around him to the right. Don't pull up back in front of him. Let him hit you with nothing, all right? Don't pull back in front of him.
By CompuBox numbers, round 6 was the best yet for Randall as he landed 27 out of 63 blows for a 43% connect percentage. It may be more than just coincidence that as Carr dispenses with his motion to the right, Randall begins to land more. Now Carr furiously wailing away to the body, and an uppercut lands, and Carr trying to mount a rally here against Randall. Harold Letterman, how do you have it through 6?
Jim, 4 rounds to 2, 58, 56, Oba Carr. There's no question he's out punching him. I give Frankie Randall rounds 3 and 6, but I'll tell you, most of the good hard shots are being landed by Oba Carr. And, you know, round 6, he looked like he was breathing very hard and his mouth open. Randall slowed him down a bit, but basically it's been Oba Carr landing a lot more good, clean, hard shots.
Oba Carr is taking a breather. It's like when you throw that many punches, it's like sprinting. You got to take a breath. And he comes right back, so he's in shape.
Come on, work out of there, guys. Come on, your hands are free, guys.
Oh, Randall bodies Carr off, knocks him down, and will get no credit for it from Joe Cortez because Cortez was attempting to break them just before Randall made the move.
And the deduction of point from Randall. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that.
And Boza Edwards is going crazy on the ring apron.
You know, that was a courageous move by the referee. What do you do when something like that happens? When you say step back, you trust the referee. When a fighter does that, he takes the trust away from the referee. You got to do something quick.
Now, how stunned is Carr from the right hand that Randall fed to him? Boza Edwards had to be dragged off the ring apron by the other men in Randall's corner. I'm not sure Cortez saw Boza on the ring apron. He could have disqualified Frankie at the moment that Boza went up to the apron.
Yeah, you want to always have the trust of the referee when he tells you to step back.
So it's like following the red light or the green light.
Yeah, once you break that trust, the referee has nothing in there.
And Carr trying to show that he feels no ill effects from the straight right hand that put him on the seat of his pants. Fires away in another 4-punch combination against Randall. And Cortez still talking to Randall about taking instructions from him.
He pushed him. He believed that Randall pushed him.
So instead of a 1-point deduction from Carr for low blows, and Oba has been flirting with that, instead it becomes a 1-point deduction from Randall for having failed to obey the referee's orders.
Oba Carr has gotten his energy back.
Good right hand to the side. Good right hand to the body. The kind of punch in late rounds that wins fights for you.
You know what? Because once you get tired, the other guy can't hurt you.
And Carr landing a hard right hand shot, and Randall comes back with his own right. But Frankie Randall is stunned. What a round.
Brilliant stuff from 2 pros.
What a round.
But a 2-point round probably for Carr.
Want him out. I want him out. All that pushing, pushing is nothing, okay? You got him hurt. So let's suck it up. Come on. Put him up. Come on. Give him plenty of water.
Okay. You can hit on the end of your stuff because you're throwing them too wide. Throw them short. Right down on that mouthpiece and throw your punches short. Okay? If you land a good shot, don't get carried away.
No rough tactics in there.
Here we see tugging on each other. Now, I have to say, having watched that again...
But you didn't see the referee saying, step back.
Yeah.
That's the missing piece.
He said step back, but he wasn't in there separating them.
One guy obeyed him and the other did not, you see. And that's what you want. Obey my commands at all times.
An increasingly tumultuous fight. And like every Frankie Randall fight in Vegas, it now has its moment open to interpretation and question. Oba Carr digging to the body in rounds 7 and 8, trying to soften Randall up for the late round kill. Out is scheduled for 10.
Carr may have an insurmountable lead at this point unless Randall can do something dramatic.
Randall has that punching power to do something dramatic.
And Cornelius Boza Edwards made no bones about it between rounds, asking his man to go knock Carr out.
Ooh, what a body. Left hook to the body back.
Bring up.
By Randall.
Randall.
After Carr had loaded up a right hand to the body of Randall.
Yeah.
That left hook hurt.
It hurt him. His right leg did a little bit of a dance after that punch.
It takes your wind away.
Oba heaving to try to get his breath, and then throwing a perfectly executed left uppercut.
But the way to get your breath is to throw another punch yourself.
Carr starting to try to load his punches here a little bit in the late rounds. Frustrated, perhaps, that he hasn't been able to do more damage with the constant contact against Randall.
Boy, that body punch threw a lot of things, changed a lot of things here.
Looks like it slowed down both guys. Carr standing and countering Randall, lands a right and a left. Swelling under both of Carr's eyes.
Boy, when that Carr throws those combinations, you don't have your hands up, you're going to get hurt.
I imagine, however, that Randall's going to have some sore arms after this fight because he's taken some really hard shots on his biceps, to say nothing of his head and his solar plexus.
Come on, guys. Come on, let's go.
His head, his facial skin have held up really well against the chopping right hands and left hands. Carr landing a left hook there, and Frankie Randall takes the punch pretty well at 147 for a guy coming up in weight late in his career.
Boy, he's taking some hard shots.
He has.
Oba Carr is just measuring him up for another.
Oh, he goes down, come on, get him out of there, come on.
Savage work by Oba Carr against the body of Randall as round 8 comes to a close. Moments ago, we took you to the two dressing rooms to see the mood in each. Well, actually, we described the mood in De La Hoya's dressing room, so here's a visual look. And Oscar, as you can see, reclining against the wall as Gil Clancy looks on in what is obviously a considerably quieter dressing room than the one we saw moments ago, where Quarte continues to warm up, working the pads, and firing the jab, which has earned him his nickname, Bazooka. This man's going to fight about 3 fights tonight. 2 of them in there, and 1 when he comes out here to the ring. By CompuBox numbers in round 8, guys, Oba Carr landed 30 of 49 power shots. That is superb work inside. Randall starting to show some swelling around his right eye. Carr, as I mentioned, with mice under both eyes.
The only thing that's been good for Frankie Randall tonight is get his hands up. Real smart, well taught. Great defense. Even a lot of those shots have been caught by his hand. Oba Carr's been landing on his wrist, elbow, everywhere.
Neither fighter has ever scored a knockout past the 8th round. And just to repeat, it's scheduled for 10. The winner, destined for a date with Oscar De La Hoya in May, if Oscar can beat Ike Quartey in tonight's main event, which is the only fight remaining on the card. So don't go to the convenience store when this one is over. You would be inconveniencing yourself.
Oba Carr is in excellent condition to be able to throw that many power shots, still be on your feet, trying to land more at this stage of a fight. That's a feat.
He's fought a very professional fight.
Has not been around that he didn't try to land at least 7 good power shots.
Well, and he's remembered to go to the body throughout, too. So many fighters forget it from round to round.
But when you get tired in the latter rounds, Randall picks up his energy. He won't be able to knock you out because his power has been drained by those body shots.
Oh, work out of there, guys. Come on, get the round out. Get him out. Come on. Your hands are free, guys. Come on, work out of there. Let go, let go, clean. Let go, clean, let go, step back.
When those big shots are coming after Randall, he's like a good quarterback. He stays right in the pocket. Let them go.
Let go.
Steps in for his protection.
Come on, get him outside. Get him. Yeah, come work out of there. Come on, work out of there. Get him out, Oba. Come on, get us outside of there, guys. Come on, work out of there. Come on, guys, work out. Let him out. Let him out, Oba. Come on, work out.
Cutting body shots on both sides. Closing seconds of the 9th round. Spirited effort by Frankie Randall and Oba Carr. Looking for a chance at big money and bigger glory in the welterweight division.
Oba Carr chops with that right hand. He chops. Even when he misses you, it comes down on the side of your ear.
Well, and oftentimes, if you're susceptible, that punch will cut you. So Randall's skin is held up pretty well.
When you live, Randall, okay?
Let me see it. Keep your eye closed. Keep the sight closed.
Okay. That's Randall, Frankie, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Want a good one out of you, please.
Okay. There's the final round. Touch him up.
Come on, spit real good. Lean over real deep and spit. I don't say nothing about that. I just keep using that jab, okay? Using that jab and breaking into him. Using that jab and go into him, okay? Don't pull back straight in front of him, all right?
You keep missing him, and he's holding you. Okay? Give him a fight, then shoot him out like you never wanted before. Okay? You want this one bad, right?
Okay. Land the right hand and walk to him, all right? Don't pull back.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 10th and final round.
Oba Carr in the black trunks. Good, tough fight. Both minutes scored. Carr seemingly the leader as we come into this last round.
Boy, it's been a good fight. A lot of hard shots. Frankie Randall keeping his composure, although he's been out power punch tonight. Keeps his stance, tries to go to the body, comes up to the head. Nothing is going good for him, though. Oba Carr's got good footwork, even at this stage of the fight. Moving good.
Close fight through the middle rounds. Carr, in the last 2 rounds, has seemed to put a little distance between himself and Randall.
All right, work out of there, guys. Your hands are free, guys. Come on.
You might expect that Randall and his trainer, Cornelius Bose Edwards, will make reference after the fight, if they don't win, to the instance in round 8 when referee Joe Cortez, or round 7, I should say, when referee Joe Cortez penalized Randall a point and disallowed a knockdown when Randall refused to break as Cortez ordered it.
And I think that was one of the greatest things you can do as a referee, to re-establish power. Hey, I'm not going to have that. Obey my commands, whether my body is there or not.
Come on, guys.
They trade chopping left hands inside. The winner, whichever man it will be, would be a decided underdog against Oscar De La Hoya on May 8th, again, if De La Hoya is able to beat Quartey later tonight. If Quartey beats De La Hoya, it's unclear what his business intention would be from that point on, although there is a rematch clause in the contract. So you could see a Quartey De La Hoya rematch before anything else happens, if in fact Quartey wins.
Come on, get him out, come on, work at it, guys. Come on.
This is like one of those old Friday night fights, George. I used to see them all the time. Two good American fighters, highly skilled, tough, resilient, putting it all out.
And everybody would say that was a good fight. It didn't matter who won. It was a good fight.
And you want to see both of them again.
Break out, clean.
Randall's career obviously winding down here, giving a very good effort.
Don't fool yourself. He's just got the wrong style in front of him. You get someone to come after him a little bit more, it'll be a different fight.
Well, maybe he can fight Chavez a third time. So 10 solid professional rounds from Oba Carr and Frankie Randall. Carr seemingly getting the better of it, but you never know for sure. Judges totaling up the scorecards right now.
I just want to drop.
No, I don't work on that. My teeth, man.
And Harold Letterman, how did you have it?
Jim, absolutely decisive for Oba Carr. 8 rounds to 2, 98, 91 in points. Oba Carr gets an extra point for the 7th round, so I got Oba Carr winning the fight by 7 points. There's no question he wins the fight, but you know, Frankie Randall just got frustrated with Oba Carr tying him up in that 7th round as I saw it, and what he did was he used the right shoulder. He shoved him off with the shoulder. Instead of waiting for referee Joe Cortez to yell break, he shoved him off with the shoulder, whacked him with a right hand, and it's illegal, you know? You have to wait for the referee to break you if a guy's holding you or ties you up, and that's all there was to it.
Well, let's take another look.
Watch the shoulder. There it is. The shoulder and the right hand, and that's illegal. You can't shove him off with your shoulder.
And here's a look at Cortez as he penalizes Randall, deducting a point for Randall's failure to follow the referee's instructions.
Oba Carr was first, and he was often 2nd and 3rd as well, George.
Yeah. Cortez is strictly into integrity now.
What do you mean by that?
Well, before you answer, let's go to the decision and see who won the fight. Up to Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the Budweiser scorecards. Remember, the winner of this bout will face the winner of tonight's main event. Dwayne Ford scores the bout 97-92. Bill Graham has it 99-90, and Jerry Roth scores it 97-92 for the winner by unanimous decision, Oba Motor City Carr.
And let's just clarify what was said in the ring. It is by no means certain that Ike Quartey would fight Oba Carr next if he wins tonight. It is certain that De La Hoya would fight Oba Carr next if he wins. So Carr will now be rooting for Oscar De La Hoya to beat Ike Quartey as you look at final punch stat numbers. And Carr with a 36-punch or 37-punch margin in punches landed. He threw 173 more punches than did Randall. Connected at a slightly lower percentage. Jabs, 37 out of 219 instead of 44 out of 147. So Carr with the greater activity level, if not the greater accuracy level in jabs. Let's go back up to our host, James Brown, to set up the main event.
Ladies and gentlemen,